Okay guys, I have this major travel story which I wanted to share with you for a very long time. And right now I have two promises for you. One, I truly promise you that you have never heard such a miraculous travel story in your life. And the second promise is you will not want to leave that video for 1 second until the end, because in my opinion it's the greatest travel story ever told. Well, you'll be the judge. Oh, and by the way, let me just appropriately introduce myself. Hi guys, my name is Peace and I'm traveling around the world, so let's peace out and go. Alright guys, now that you already know my name and you know what I'm doing, let's get right into it. So recently I've been to Greece for quite a while, and actually since then I've been to quite a few other countries. And let me tell you something, big things are popping and major surprises are coming. So if you want to stay tuned and know exactly what's coming, you better do yourselves a favor and subscribe and press that bell notification button so you will get the upcoming surprises. But anyway, back to the story. Well, I've been to Greece. Right now I'm back in the UK, as you can see in the background. Beautiful green park in the UK, in London. And the story begins first off where I stayed, in a beautiful, comfortable, little though, hotel, which is called Bed in Athens. This little hotel is a family-oriented hotel, which is based right in downtown Athens, in the middle of the center, where all the bars and the restaurants, and you know, it's just a few minutes from all the greatest attractions and historic places, historic sites of Athens in Greece. Well guys, until I was a traveler, until I was doing what I'm doing right now, I used to be just as most of us. I'm saying most of us, meaning most of you, because I've been also living with many myths about people, certain people of certain countries. And even before I went to Greece, some people have told me the Greek people are not nice people, they don't act nicely to tourists. And you know something? Many myths and many quite stupid stories that I've heard through my life have changed drastically since I began to travel. And you know why? Because once you start traveling and you meet the people of different countries, different cultures, you then finally realize that most of the stories you hear are in the media, and it's totally different. In my experience, by the way, as you'll hear in the story soon, the Greek people are the best and the nicest people I've ever met through all my travelings around the world so far. Anyway, back to the story, because that story you wouldn't want to miss. All right, so why have I told you the story begins in the hotel which I was staying, which is called Bed in Athens? The reason for that is like this. My last day in Greece, as I needed to leave Greece, was on a Saturday. And you know, checkout of a hotel is usually at around noon, or even before that at 10 o'clock in the morning. And since my flight left Greece late in the evening, like at 10 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock p.m., I've asked the reception if I can stay another half a day in my room, and I'll pay her whatever it costs. So basically, first off, it cost me, I think, every single day in that hotel cost me around 40 euros. So she just told me I would have to pay another extra 20 euros because it's just a half a day. So then I could stay in my room until the evening when I need to get out to the airport. So I've done that, and the way it works is this hotel is actually, as I told you, a family-oriented hotel, and therefore they don't have like somebody at the reception 24/7. So basically they are there from the morning until about 6 or 7 p.m. and then they leave home, and they just told me to leave the keys because my taxi who came to pick me up to the airport came at around 7:30 or 8 o'clock, if I remember correctly. So they told me, just leave the keys of your room at the reception desk, and you can close the lobby door behind you and leave. So I've also asked them to order a taxi for me, a cab, to come pick me up at the time, at around 7:30. And they did that, so I was calm, knowing that I can still do my things, you know, until the evening. And then when it came the time, I came back to the hotel, arranged myself, took the keys, put them on the desk. They have already left, of course, and I closed the door, took my suitcases, got into the taxi. It's a yellow cab, you know, the local taxis of Greece. and went to the airport, which is about 45 or 50 minutes from central Athens. Well, guys, this is where the story starts to develop and be interesting. All right, so I've arrived to the Athens airport, paid a taxi, and went out, starting to walk into the airport. Well, this is when I realized, suddenly, that I don't find my smartphone, my phone. So I'm starting to search my phone all over the place. Maybe it's in one of my pockets or somewhere. I don't find it. I'm starting to, look in the suitcase. Maybe I had it in there, or maybe in my other case, which I had with me. And it was nowhere to be found. So I, of course, started to panic right away, because as you know, today, everything, your entire life is in your smartphone. Don't you know that? Well, we all know that. I even had my ticket, my electronic ticket, in my phone. So, of course, I needed my phone. I had all my numbers, all my contacts, everything. And then I realized that probably I've made this big mistake, and I might have left my smartphone in the taxi, in the back seat, where I was sitting. Because when I was paying the taxi driver, I guess I put down the phone on the chair, on the seat, for just a minute to take out my wallet and pay the taxi, and forgot to pick the phone up again and take it with me. Here is where the drama starts. Well, the problem was I have not known the driver, I have not known the company he works for, I have not known anything about the taxi itself, and as you can imagine, I told you already that they ordered the taxi for me in the hotel, and I couldn't even call back to the hotel and ask for their number because they weren't anymore at the hotel. As you know, I told you they leave early. So then what? What do you do? I only had a receipt that the taxi driver gave me, but there was no phone number on that receipt. Now, just want to stop 1 second and make something clear. I want you to understand that this story, which you are about to hear right now, is not something ordinary, because believe you me, as we say, believe me, that in most places, if you would have lost your smartphone, all right, you would never see it back. Anyway, I then started to think, what am I going to do? So I have seen another taxi, another yellow cab, of the same kind, standing right there. So I went up to the driver and told him, listen, this is what happened. I think I forgot my phone in that taxi I came with. Maybe you can help me. Do you have a number? Do you know? Maybe you work together with him, maybe whatever. And he said, listen, I mean, there are many different branches and offices of these kinds of cabs, and I don't know who the driver is, but one thing you might be able to do is go with the receipt that you have, although there's no phone number, and go to the security of the airport. They might analyze the plate number of that taxi. I don't know how, maybe it was written on the receipt or something, and they might find him. So I ran into the airport, went right away to the information desk, asked to speak to security or police. They told me to go down for the police, one floor. It took me a little while to find that police office, but I found it. I went in. They barely spoke English, but I came all panicking and saying, well, I lost my phone. I don't know what to do. I have a flight going in about an hour and a half, and I don't have my ticket. I don't have my numbers, blah, 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 blah. Well, the police officers right there were quite, I should say, unexpectedly trying to be very helpful to me, which I wasn't even thinking they would be, because, well, okay. I mean, stories like that happen every day. And they were thinking what to do. They spoke between themselves in Greek, which I didn't understand. And then they started calling somewhere and back and forth. And they told me, come down, we'll help you. Give us 5-10 minutes, give us another 10 minutes. And then I said to one of them, you know what? Why don't you actually call my phone number? I'll give you my phone number, call in. Maybe someone will pick up. Maybe the driver of the taxi will pick it up. They said, wow, that's an idea. We didn't think of that. Well, why didn't you? Anyway, so they asked me for the number. I gave them the number, wrote down the number, and then they see that the number is a foreign number from a different country. So they told me, well, guy, listen, Mr. Peace, we have a problem. We cannot call that number because it's a foreign number, and from our desk, we don't have calls abroad. We can only call locally. Wow. So my panic level went up drastically right there. And so they told me, calm down, we are trying this, trying that. I didn't even know what they're trying. And then came in two other officers, young guys, and they had like their smartphones with them, playing around with them. So I told them what's going on. They were asking their friends what's going on. And then the guy told me, you know what? I'll make a phone call through my personal phone. I'll send a message to the phone or something, or call them. So he tried to call my cell phone, my smartphone, and nobody picked up. Wow. So after no one picked up, I have started praying. What can you do in such a situation otherwise? Just a few minutes passed by, and suddenly that police officer who called my phone receives an SMS message from someone who found the phone and said, have you been trying to call this phone? I found that phone and it's with me. So the police officer called back again to that guy, and happens to be it wasn't the taxi driver himself. He has already been back in Athens, far away from the airport, but he then picked up other customers, and they went in the back seat where I sat, and they found that phone. And these are the guys who called back the police officer. So the police officer asked them to do a favor and just go and admit my smartphone to the first local police office which they find wherever they are in Athens. That's what they have done. They have let him know where the phone is. So the police officer then told me, you can now calm down. Your smartphone is in our hands. Your kidnapped child is back. Well, it almost felt this way. All right, so knowing that my phone is now at the police station in Athens somewhere, and they have the address and they know where it is, I've just asked them, is there a possibility that the police station in Athens should send over the phone with another taxi to the airport, and I'll pay as much I need to pay. I'm ready to pay. Well, they then told me, listen, we cannot do that because that's the procedure of the law. Once we find the lost item, you have to prove it's yours, and we cannot hand it to no stranger's hand again, which I could legitimately understand. And therefore I understood that I am no longer flying that night, because if I have to get back to Athens, which is another 45 minutes, I will not make it in time for the flight, that's for sure. So the first thing I did was thanking the police officers at the airport with all my heart for their very generous help. They gave me the address of the station. So then I first went to the airline check-in desk to let them know that I must delay the flight. And I cannot go, and with hope that I'm not losing that ticket. So, thank God, I must say, this is another point which will bring out the kindness of the Greece people. Turns out, I'm not going to name the name of the airline which I flew with, which is quite a good airline, but I wouldn't expect them to give me another opportunity. They would probably ask me to pay for another ticket, since it's my fault that I'm staying in Athens for another day. So basically my luck was that the crew which was at the check-in in the airport of Greece was actually a local crew which were Greek people, and therefore, as you will see soon, they were very, very kind. So I came in there, I spoke to one of the crew and told them, listen, this and this happened, I lost my phone is back to Athens, I need to go back there and pick it up. So they told me, go speak to the manager. So they sent me over to the manager's desk, and was a very nice lady. I don't remember her name. She was a local Greek lady managing the crew of that specific airline which I flew with. And I told her my story, and she was very, very understanding towards me, and she felt me, and she actually told me, listen, calm down, everything is okay. You will not have to pay another ticket. You didn't lose your ticket. I'm just going to transfer your ticket, your seat, meaning, from today to the next day. And you will fly tomorrow at the same time, at the same hour, without adding a single penny. That was amazing. So then I have asked her if she can please just make a phone call to the police station in Athens, which I had the number, and tell them that I'm coming, so they should know to expect me. So she said she cannot do any phone calls from her desk. Although it's not a phone call, she couldn't just do any phone call to anywhere from her desk. So she was polite enough to call the police station from her own smartphone. She spoke to them and they said, no worries, we are waiting for the guy, we have his phone. So I went out of the airport, took another yellow cab back to Athens, to that police station where my phone is sitting and waiting for me. Well, I got there. The police officer was very happy to see me, I guess. He asked me to give him some signs that it's my phone. I told him the biggest sign you have is, just check my pictures and you'll see me there. So he checked it out, and of course, right away he gave me back my phone, and the reunion was a very happy one and a very grateful one. Who would have thought that I would lose a smartphone in the middle of a foreign country in a cab, which I have no number and no knowledge of the name of the taxi company, and still get it back. By the way, the taxi was waiting for me outside because I told him I want him to take me from the police station back to the bed in Athens hotel where I left before. I forgot to tell you that before I got my phone back, the police officer told me, if you want me to give you back the phone, you have to ask your viewers to hit that like button right there, right now. So if you haven't done it yet, please do it right now because it helps me. Yeah, I was kidding, of course, yeah. Let me just get out of these branches. These beautiful trees right here. Very beautiful park in central London. So, here we go. So, as I had my phone back with me, I was heading with the taxi back to the hotel where I was during my stay in Athens. The bed in Athens hotel. Well, with one hope in my mind that I can still go in there. Well, I knew that they are not there, but they have this code on the door which they gave me when I stayed there, and I was hoping that that code will still work since I left. Maybe it's changing automatically, who knows. And I knew that nobody would be at the reception, as you know. So, fingers crossed, I arrived at the hotel. I'm pressing the codes on the door, and there you go, the door is opening. And I'm getting in. Where do I go? You can guess yourself. Right to the reception desk, and my keys of that room where I slept are still sitting there, waiting for me. So I just took those keys, went into the room. Of course, it was already, I think, maybe 12 o'clock, midnight. And I've right away sent an email to the owners of the hotel that this unfortunate story happened to me, which I had to stay another day in Athens and come back. And I was informing them that I'm staying another night in the hotel, so they shouldn't be shocked the day after that they see me there, breaking into the room again. And then after I was enjoying myself yet another night in Athens in the local bars, I then went back to the hotel, went to sleep, woke up in the morning, packed my bags, came down to the lobby and spoke to the reception. That great lady, which I forgot her name right now. Let me check it out, maybe I have it. Oh yeah, her name was Labrini. Labrini was the lady at the reception. She's the owner, part of the owners, I guess, of the bed in Athens hotel. I came down and spoke to her. She was very happy to see me and shocked too. So I told her the entire story, and then of course, after I finished telling her the story, I told her, okay, so how much do I owe you for the extra night? So after listening to my story, she was so nice, and she said to me, well, after all the hardship that you have went through, you have nothing to pay me. It's on the house. That night is for free. All right, if you think the drama is finished right here, you are wrong. There's still a very interesting part going on in this story. But right here and there, I want to stop and tell you guys, if you are coming to visit in Greece and you are arriving to the capital city, Athens, and you are looking for the best, comfortable and luxurious hotel, cheap, clean, extremely clean I should even say, and very friendly staff. The owners are unbelievably nice. As I said before, the receptionist, the owner, Labrini, and there's another guy working there, a young boy, his name is Stefanos, which is the nephew of Labrini. He's also a very nice kid. They are doing everything in their power to go out of their way to make you feel at home when you are staying there. So if you go there, do yourselves a favor and book yourself that hotel, which is right downtown Athens in the center where everything is going on. So without further ado, the next day, of course, at the time when I had to leave in the evening again, at the same time, I have ordered the same taxi who took me from the airport to the police station to pick up the phone and then to the hotel. I already arranged with him that he should come and pick me up to the airport. And I arrived to the airport on time. And here and there, I have met the same lady manager at the crew of the check-in of the airline. And she was very happy to see me again. She actually said, "Well, I was waiting for you." So then I asked her if she can possibly find me a seat where there's an empty seat right next to me. I usually like to sit on an aisle seat and not a window. So I was asking her if there's a possibility if she can put me, if she sees if there is an empty seat in the middle, you know, between the window and the aisle, she should put me right there at the aisle so I have space between me and the other guy. Well, I have too many requests, do I? Anyway, I was trying my luck. And she said, "Listen, if you don't mind to sit in the very back of the aircraft, I can maybe arrange it." I said, "I don't really care where you put me. Just find me an empty seat and I'll sit right there." So she said she found one. She printed out my boarding card, and I was very, very happy to fly home with a great feeling that the Greek people were very, very nice. But listen to that, it's coming right now. Well, I went up to the flight. Everybody was already sitting down. This aircraft was packed, was jam-packed. You couldn't even put a needle in between anyone. The flight was fully booked, and all the seats were taken. And believe it or not, that row where I sat, which was a row of 3 seats, a window, a middle, and an aisle, and my place was an aisle, was the only one out of the entire flight. The entire row was empty. Not just one seat in the middle, but nobody sat at the window, nor in the middle, and I had the entire row for myself. That's basically the beautiful story which I wanted to share with you. But the main points which I would like to bring out of that major story: never ever believe what you hear in the media in regards to different countries or different people. Never ever believe in any myth that people say, these people are the worst people, or that people are the worst people, whatever. The Greeks are not nice to tourists, or something like that. Let me tell you, I've been to many different countries. I would never ever think that losing a smartphone in a cab, in the middle of nowhere, in a country that you don't know the language, you don't know the people, and you would ever get your smartphone back. All right? Just as little as a smartphone. Yeah, it sounds little, but it's much, because your entire life is depending on that smartphone, sometimes when you need it, or should I say almost all the time. So believe it or not, the Greek people are very, very nice. And you see that train passing by? That English train is telling you right now to subscribe to my channel, because there are many, many, many great videos coming up very, very soon. All right, so guys, if you have liked this video, please hit the like button so it can spread to more people around YouTube. And if you would love to see more videos just like this one, or rather more travel vlog videos from different countries and learn about different cultures and very interesting, fascinating places around the world, do yourselves a favor and subscribe and hit that bell notification button, and we'll see you again next time. Peace. If you have made it to this part of the video, I'm pretty sure you have enjoyed it, didn't you? So let me recommend that you watch this one next. Peace.